The Volkswagen Group have ditched, well, basically, when you work at Volkswagen Group, they have this thing called job protections, and that means you can't get fired. Even if you suck, you can't get fired, which is insane. It's one of the reasons why the automotive industry in Europe is completely non-competitive with, well, to be honest, even America, and in particular with China. But Volkswagen is getting rid of these job protections. It needs to save 10 billion euros, or the company is, well, they're saying the company itself is in a crisis. It's going to close two of its major factories in Germany. Its production this year is going to shrink drastically, and it's going to have to fire thousands and thousands of people. Now, the unions are obviously furious, and the unions are saying, well, you can't fire them. You have their contracts say you can't fire them. Volkswagen, though, is scrapping these labor agreements that it has at 6 German plants that guarantee jobs until 2029, paving the way for potential layoffs in the automaker's home market. Basically, the company, they have $190 billion in debt, probably about $200 billion by the time you watch this. If you're watching this in 2025, probably $230 billion. Anyway, they have a lot of debt. And essentially, the Volkswagen Group, they are affected strongly by politicians, by the labor union. There's a lot of greasing of hands going on here. It's very, very complicated, but ultimately the group, they know they've got huge debt. They can see their car sales shrinking fast. They know their technology is not that great. But think about it. The Volkswagen Group is saying, they said this literally, the house is on fire. But that's what they're saying, right? And even in spite of that, the previous CEO wanted cost cuts. He said we need to evolve quickly to become an EV manufacturer, an efficient EV manufacturer, not just EVs, but we need to do this efficiently and quickly as possible. So they fired the guy. Well, now this new guy who's going to do the same thing, he'll get fired as well. He hasn't been yet, but I'm assuming he will be. High-ranking executives have expressed concern, though, about Volkswagen's ability to compete with Asian rivals and are embarking on a cost-cutting drive. Now, keep in mind, the car market of Southeast Asia and China together, that represents more than 40% of the global car market. And Thailand, it's been put on its head. I mean, China is basically taking over Thailand. I've just been sent the data from someone from Thailand. Internal combustion engine pickup trucks, they dominated the car market in Thailand. Their sales are down 40% this year. Guess who's up 40%? Chinese EV manufacturers in Thailand. Same thing happens in China, of course. So the executives are saying, looking at the numbers that the Electric Viking shared with us 3 years ago, I'm joking, they couldn't care less what I say, shows that we have a problem. And this is sparking fierce opposition from local labor union officials. Now, Volkswagen Group probably be challenged in court because they have cancelled 3-decade-old agreements safeguarding employment until 2029, meaning these guarantees will only run until the middle of next year, upon which time these staff will be fired. The conglomerate says its namesake, Volkswagen passenger car brand, needs to achieve 10 billion or $11 billion in cost savings by 2026, and this is not achievable at the current rate, even after recent retirements and voluntary buyouts offered in Germany. Keep in mind, Volkswagen Group's profit per car this year has declined significantly. We must enable Volkswagen AG to reduce costs in Germany to a competitive level in order to invest in new technologies and new products with our own resources, said Volkswagen Labour Director Gunnar Kilian. To ease some concerns among workers, the company has offered to bring forward wage negotiations from mid to late October to this month instead. Oh, wonderful. That's nice. However, the Volkswagen employee representative and supervisory board member, Daniela Cavallo of the IG Metal Union, the one that have been attacking Tesla constantly for the last 12 months, said there will be no layoffs, adding that labor officials will put up a fierce resistance to this historic attack on our jobs. Is that even remotely logical? I mean, I understand. I know some of you are fiercely unionized. You support unions. And people have unsubscribed from this channel because I've criticized the unions in America. Now, apparently some things you can't criticize. You shouldn't be able to criticize unions even if they're corrupt. Now, I don't agree with that. That's why I do. I'll criticize anything if it's corrupt. I don't care who it is. Now, if the union has come out and said there will be no layoffs, we will put up a fierce resistance to this historic attack on our jobs, do you think that's in the best interest of the staff of the company? Do you think just let the ship sink? Like, imagine a ship's too heavy, right? Just leave everything on the ship so everything sinks. We all go down with the ship. That's essentially what IF Metal is saying. That's the character of this union, IF Metal, who've been, like I said, non-stop attacking Tesla in every way they can, trying to force Tesla to unionize, right? There will be no layoffs. So this company has $200 billion in debt. Their car sales are going to fall by 1 million this year, right? And there will be no layoffs. So this ship is going to sink. Basically, IF Metal is saying, screw you idiots. We're all going down with the ship. Either all of us go down, or I don't know what they're praying for. The government bails us out completely. Anyhow, Cavallo says that if a new employee agreement can't be reached by June 2025, agreements established before 1994 will come into force. Before 1994. That's 30 years ago. These will result in a pay rise for staff at all 6 German plants, while also including a Christmas bonus, extra holiday pay, and higher bonuses for overtime. Volkswagen will have the ability, though, to force redundancies. So everyone working at these plants, including 2 of the 6 that are going to be shut down, right? IF Metal is saying, no, you can't shut down those 2 plants. You have to continue to hire all these people. Doesn't matter if they perform well or not. Plus, you got to give them the Christmas bonus. Plus, you got to give them a pay rise. Plus, you got to give them extra holiday pay and higher bonuses. A negotiated compromise is actually needed, said Volkswagen's Work Council. So Volkswagen's Work Council is a different union, and they're saying, IF Metal, you guys are idiots. That is ridiculous. We need some sort of negotiated compromise, or this company will be bankrupt and there'll be no money to pay anyone. Otherwise, they said, Volkswagen will be able to push ahead with forced redundancies from summer 2025, but at the same time would immediately face enormous cost increases for all those who remain. Enormous cost increases for those who remain, fire everyone else. Sounds brilliant. How efficient this Volkswagen group are going to be when they fire all these people. The union is going to force them into this position. And the reason I say that is it's happened in many countries, right? Australia has no automotive industry. The unions were a part of that reason. A lot of their demands were kind of ridiculous, and it meant that basically automakers, they had to agree to them. In the end, they did. And like I said, we have no automotive industry here in Australia anymore. It was a huge employer. So will the same thing happen in Germany? The Volkswagen Group eventually will sell off some of their brands. They'll sell them off to Chinese conglomerates. Skoda, they'll probably sell that off. I'm guessing the Volkswagen Group don't want to sell Volkswagen itself. They might sell Audi. Audi's very valuable. Maybe Bugatti. They might sell Bugatti. Yeah, they have lots of brands. Lamborghini they've still got, although that might have been part sold. Was Lamborghini sold to Rematch? So the new Croatian EV brand. I believe he actually bought at least some of that company. I don't know what's going to happen here, guys, but it doesn't look good, does it? It looks, in fact, incredibly bad. Thanks for watching.